In addition to bullying, the NCTSN also describes community violence as a form of trauma. Community violence is defined as something that happens in public by people who are not directly related to the victim. It can be individual or group conflicts such as bullying, fighting, gang-related issues, or even public shootings. Although most of these issues can be anticipated, this type of community violence can happen suddenly and without warning. If you explore the effects of community violence, you will find that youth describe their lives and the effects on their lives as a lack of trust. The fact they were on edge all the time because they didn't know when the next form of violence was going to happen. They didn't have future plans because they didn't expect to graduate from high school. And sometimes they talk about being tempted to get drunk or high to numb the pain. Their susceptibility to anger was higher even when no one was bothering them because of their frustrations and anxiety. In addition to community violence, the NCTSN also explores complex trauma. Complex trauma describes both children's exposure to multiple traumatic events, often of an invasive or interpersonal nature, and the wide-ranging long-term effects of this exposure. These events are severe and pervasive, such as abuse or extreme neglect. They usually occur in early life and can disrupt many aspects of the child's development and the formation of a sense of self. Children who experience complex trauma often have difficulty forming relationships as they're not sure who to trust. They also have issues with their body and brain. In instances such as this, they have biological issues in development. They also have difficulty with emotional responses, as they have not had positive experiences in their life, or they have not been taught how to respond emotionally to situations. They also suffer from disassociation. It can be seen in children with histories of complex trauma. When children encounter an overwhelming and terrifying experience, they may disassociate or mentally separate themselves from the experience. It's their way of protecting themselves. It is not surprising to know that children with complex trauma have behavior concerns. They are easily set off and can be intensely angry. They also struggle with thinking and learning. Children with complex trauma histories may have problems thinking clearly, reasoning, or problem solving. They may be unable to plan ahead, anticipate the future, and act accordingly. When children grow up under these conditions of constant threats, all of their internal resources go towards survival, which does not allow them to do long-term planning and thinking. These children also have issues with self-concept and future orientation, long-term health consequences. There's a severe economic impact as well.